What if I told you that your depression is not an enemy, but a silent messenger trying to guide you towards something greater? Depression is often seen as an unbearable weight, something to be fought or eliminated. But what if it were more than that? What if it were an opportunity to listen to parts of ourselves that we have neglected for so long? Today, we will explore how engaging in a dialogue with your depression can become a gateway to self-awareness, spiritual growth, and even rediscovery of purpose. Because deep down, pain is not something to avoid, it is something to be understood. Because deep down, pain is not something to avoid, it is something to be understood. Depression is more than just sadness. It is a universal human experience, yet deeply individual. For some, it is like a fog that covers everything. For others, it is an invisible weight that feels impossible to carry. Regardless of how it manifests, depression forces us to stop and look within. To understand this, we need to talk about the concept of shadow work, introduced by Carl Jung. The shadow represents the aspects of ourselves that we reject or neglect. When these parts are not acknowledged, they can emerge as emotional pain, such as depression. Depression, then, can be seen as an internal call for attention, a signal that something needs to be recognized and integrated. Depression is like an underground river. It may seem silent on the surface, but its currents are powerful and deep. What is your depression trying to tell you? Is it just pain, or does it carry an important message? Take a moment to think. When you feel this pain, what does it seem to be pointing to within you? Listen closely. Simple answers may arise, but they carry profound truths. Depression can be an invitation to listen to parts of ourselves that we have neglected for too long. But how do we do this? To understand, we need to explore the concept of anima and animus, introduced by Carl Jung. The anima represents internal feminine energy, while the animus symbolizes masculine energy. These complementary energies can come into conflict within us, manifesting as emotional pain. Imagine your mind as a garden. Some plants grow uncontrollably because they don't receive attention. Depression can be the sign that these plants need care. I'll share a fictional story to illustrate this idea. Laura felt trapped in a cycle of emotional exhaustion. One day, she decided to write letters to herself, asking, "What do you really need?" Gradually, she discovered that her depression was calling her to dedicate more time to creativity, something she had abandoned years ago. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens. Carl Jung, if you could talk to your depression as if it were a person, what would it say about your deepest needs? Take a deep breath now. Imagine sitting with your pain, listening without judgment. What does it want you to know? Listen closely. Depression can be like a storm. It may seem destructive, but it can also clear the sky to reveal new possibilities. Imagine someone who lost their dream job. At first, the pain feels unbearable, but over time, that loss can open the door to new paths and purposes. Depression removes the dry leaves from the garden of the soul, allowing new plants to grow. When we accept this, we begin to see that pain can be a portal to something greater. If your depression were a guide, where would it be pointing? Could it be trying to lead you towards something bigger? Close your eyes for a moment. Visualize yourself walking toward what your depression is trying to show you. What do you see in the distance? Listen closely. Therapeutic writing is a powerful tool. Write letters to yourself, asking, "What can I do today to take better care of myself?" Writing is like opening a door to the unconscious. Each word can be a key to understanding your pain. Another technique is guided meditation. Visualize your depression as a separate entity. Ask it, "What do you need from me?" Imagine sitting next to your pain, offering it compassion instead of resistance. Symbolic rituals can also help. Create a simple ritual, like lighting a candle to symbolize acceptance or writing your pains on a piece of paper and burning it. Burning a letter is like releasing a weight you no longer need to carry. If you could start today building a new relationship with your depression, what would be the first step? Listen closely. Small actions can bring great changes over time. Small internal changes can lead to significant external transformations. You don't need to solve everything at once. Accepting pain doesn't mean surrendering to it. It means recognizing that it is part of who you are, and that, by accepting it, you can make space for light. What do you want your new relationship with depression to mean for you? How do you want it to influence your life moving forward? These questions invite us to consider how we can transform pain into an ally rather than an obstacle. A man finds meaning in his life when he realizes that suffering is part of his destiny. Viktor Frankl. Take a deep breath now. Imagine starting a new journey with your depression as an ally, not an enemy. What can this journey teach you? Listen closely. Today, we explored how depression can be more than a burden. It can be a silent messenger inviting us to listen to neglected parts of ourselves. We saw how acceptance and inner dialogue can transform pain into strength and purpose. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. Every tear shed is a drop that waters the soil where new flowers can grow. Honor your pain, but allow yourself to seek the light. If this video touched your heart, share your story in the comments. How are you learning to dialogue with your depression? Together we can inspire each other to find meaning even in pain. Because, in the end, true healing begins when we stop fighting against ourselves and start truly listening.